Just kidding, we have part 2. And we just have this last example that I forgot to add in the original video. So, example 7, we want to write the equation for the polynomial with the given zeros here. This is what I was talking about with the i's. Even though they gave me 2 minus I, they didn't give me 2 plus I. So, I have to add that in myself. I have to include that myself. That doesn't work that way for regular numbers, so this 3 over 2, I don't have to put negative 3 over 2. It's just with i's and square roots that I need to do that. So now when I am backing up, if there's a 0, I tend to put it first, because if you remember, we got zeros from having just x equal to 0, so that just means that there's an x. And then the 3 halves is kind of like when you're factoring and you get x minus 3 halves and you're having to swing that number to the front. Swing that number to the front. So the 3 halves will be 2x minus 3. And then the 2 minus I and 2 plus I we will treat like the last problem. So x minus 2 plus I and x minus 2 minus I. So we've backed everything up into parentheses, changing the signs. Again, with a fraction, you treat it like we do with factoring. With a 0, it's just a plain x. And if you have an I, you also need to use the conjugate. Again, I can only multiply 2 things together at once. I'm going to go ahead and distribute the x through the first parentheses. You don't distribute it through all. I can just distribute it through 1. So that'll give me 2x squared minus 3x in that first parentheses. I'm going to triple distribute with these ones with i's, just like I did in the last problem. So x times x is x squared. X times negative 2 is negative 2x. X times negative I is negative xi. Then negative 2 times everything. And I times everything. And I did that one because I know that a lot's going to cancel. I can already see things that will cancel. So I'm just going to bring down that first part and then start canceling. So I have the negative xi and the positive xi that will cancel. Positive 2i and negative 2i that will cancel. Negative I squared will become a positive 1. So this whole thing will simplify to x squared minus 4x plus 5. And then I can triple distribute again. So I would get 2x to the 4th minus 8x to the 3rd plus 10x squared. That was multiplying the 2x by everything. Then I do the negative 3x by everything and get negative 3x to the 3rd plus 12x squared minus 15x. And then the last step is just to combine any like terms that I can. So negative 8 and negative 3 be negative 11 x cubed. 10x squared and 12x squared will be 22x squared. And then I just have that negative 15x on the end. So here's the polynomial with those given zeros. And that finally concludes this lesson.